we deployed cameras in early August, and as bow season opener approached, we really only had one buck that we felt like we all agreed on. He was a management deer. He was at least 4.5, maybe a 5-year-old. The other cameras weren't really showing much, and we knew that it was going to be, let's get out, let's observe. Maybe there's something that the cameras are missing because they don't tell the entire story. But with 10 cameras on 1,000 acres, he was our one buck. That would be our bona fide #1 shooter.
That's what I was gonna say.
Hey,
Right?
hey, I think so.
I mean, that is what we're looking for.
He's a danger mature buck.
Yeah, look at his chest. I mean, it's summertime too.
He never misses chest day.
Yep, that deer needs to go
He
down.
may not make it to the rut.
No.
So we go through September and approaching, you know, what we would call the pre-rut, and there's not much there. We've got a lot of younger deer that we can identify quickly that we think need at least 1 year, maybe 2 more years. Last year we had several deer that we thought, man, I can't wait until next year. And so we've got cameras out. It's October and they haven't shown up. Don't know where they went, don't know if they're still alive. All those questions kind of run through your head. But at the end of the day, we had one identified shooter, and it's October and it's time to get serious about hunting. We have one young deer that we've all said do not shoot. We put him on that list real fast. Is a buck we call Picket Fence. So it was kind of fun to move cameras around and see his pattern change from the summer into the fall. That gave us a little bit of hope that as fall approaches and November gets here, that maybe some of the deer that we were hoping would be there would shift their pattern the same way that we watched him do it. So it gave us a little bit of hope, but at the end of the day, the deer we really wanted to shoot, #1 buck on the hit list, Porkchop, hadn't been there since August 8th. So we had an opening weekend. I had my son in camp with us. He killed his first buck. Like it was a great weekend, but it was different because we were also moving into the lodge. So we would hunt in the mornings, we would move all day, we would hunt in the evenings, we would move all night. Literally went about 5 or 6 days with virtually no sleep. We had harvested multiple deer at the lodge that weekend, so we were processing deer in between all this. And it's literally the day that I'm leaving. I was actually processing a deer the day that I was leaving. And we get a picture at 9:45 in the morning, and Austin looks at me and goes, dude, I think that's Porkchop. And then Austin looks at me and goes, are you serious? You're not gonna go? I was like, I just don't. Do you think we'll see him? And he's like, yeah, I think we will. I immediately turned from like just beat down, wore out, to having some hope and some just gave you that extra drive to go in and try it. So Austin looks at me and says, that's Porkchop. And I'm like, where? And he goes, in the pines. Of all places on the farm that you would get your target buck, it would have never struck me that he would have been in the pines. That's where we had him early, but you have to remember, it is a 20-acre thicket of pines, and nothing, in my opinion, as a Midwestern whitetail hunter, there's nothing intriguing to me about that. All right, we're headed in. We just got a picture this morning about 9:45 of our #1 hit lister buck, Porkchop. You watched the videos earlier, saw he's the one that Boone said, that guy don't miss chest day. So big mature deer, really good looking deer. So we're hoping to slide in, get in the woods. And you have to remember, nobody's hunted it all year. It's kind of been a sleeper spot, but we had moved a Banks blind there over the summer. We knew our entry route in and out was going to be very quiet. We knew where he was. We knew he was alive. We knew he was there. We knew we could get into the blind very quietly, like without spooking him, we felt like. So walking in that day, I'll never forget looking at Austin and be like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right, we're at the Ketucky Buck Factory, and we are on an afternoon hunt in the pines.
This is a big section of pines surrounded by hardwoods. The deer we came in here after, Porkchop, has not been here since early August. He showed up today at 9:45 with a doe. And we all noticed, looking at cameras the past 4 or 5 days, this place has been really hopping with doe activity. It seems like from our observations hunting and what we're seeing on camera, these bucks are just kind of cruising midday looking for these receptive does. And we think he found one, and we're hoping she's a home girl, so she's staying around here. And he's gonna ease in here tonight and check some of these scrapes.
So we get in the blind, and it is I'd call it somewhat of a warm day. It's probably 55 degrees, and we're in the middle of a pine thicket, and it is eerie quiet in there. And the setting, when you're in that bank's blind, it doesn't matter which window you look out, you can't see more than 50 yards. You can see the tail end of these logging roads and bits and pieces. All you really catch is a break in the sunlight. Like, it's not like you even see a deer, and you just see the sunlight break and that flash of light. You focus your attention, then you can start picking out legs. So it's quiet. We couldn't hear them. Your visibility is pretty limited. So we're literally on pins and needles, just dialed into these open windows that we have, not moving, not talking, just ready. So we're sitting there. It's quiet. We've been in there for probably an hour. We haven't seen a squirrel. We haven't seen a bird. We haven't heard anything move. No wildlife of any sort. So start going back through trail camera photos, because now it's like he hasn't been here since August 8th. Your morale was down earlier. I was busy with other things. Are we manifesting this deer here? But I'm like, we made it in the blind. We know that's him. And then the other side of you is like, what if that wasn't him? What if there's a similar deer in here? So I start going back through pictures, and we're both looking, just trying to make sure that all the features he has that we can quickly identify. And I look at Austin and I go, he doesn't have a double throat patch. I think that deer has a double throat patch. I'm like, look at the picture from 9:45 this morning. So we're studying it, and I'm like, that's a double throat patch. And he's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, look. So we go back to him. He doesn't have a double throat patch. So I'm like, does he have it or does he not have it? Did that deer have it or did he not have it? And I bet for 15 minutes we debated and went back and forth. And I think what had happened, like I said with the movement, I think there was a little bit of sunlight that had hit his chest at the exact same time the picture was taken, which made him look like he had a double throat patch. But everything else matched. So now I'm doubtful. Not only have we got in here, now we're wasting our time. I'm tired, I want to go home. But now we're thinking this might not even be the right deer. So we're looking down, we're looking up, we're looking down, and all of a sudden we look up, and there he is. There was without a doubt, he matched everything that we had set and everything we knew that he was. There was no double throat patch that we could tell, and we knew immediately, looking through those pines 50, 60 yards away, that was him. And immediately we have this like standoff. He's just doing deer stuff. He's sniffing around, he's chewing on leaves and twigs and branches. I mean, he's just doing what deer do. But when you're in that intimate of a setting, that close to a mature deer, it's like they have a sixth sense and they know you're there. So we know he's there. He knows. I feel like he knows that we're there. So we just have this standoff. And as he's standing there doing whatever he's doing, we catch glimpses of him. We got the camera on. But we're both like, Austin and I said, he's going to go one way or the other. And the minute that he does, we have to be prepared to shoot, because we're not going to have a lot of shot opportunities in the pines. You start to get the sense that he gets the sense that you're there. So So you've got all this stuff running through your head, and again, it's almost like slow motion, like a dream. You can just, it's all vivid. You can see this all happening, and he's literally just sitting there peeking through the pines, and you're like, I know we're about to get busted. Like, I'm trying to make sure that my shot's ready. Austin's making sure that he's ready, and like, all of a sudden he locks in on us, and it's like, did he see somebody move? Is he just tired of doing whatever he's doing?
Oh yeah, look like picked it up there. That's for sure. He's about to take off. Stop it, stop it.
Matt!
Wait, don't shoot. I can't see his head. Can you kill him there? Man, I just can't see his head. Stop.
Matt!
He's in the frame. I just can't see his head.
That worked. Oh my gosh. Dude.
It sounded like it crashed, right?
I think so.
I didn't have much to work with there. We were about to lose him. These pines are so thick, man. Wow. Our number one hit lister. 65 degrees. It's November. They're up. They're on their feet. I know I said last year after I shot that deer that I could throw up, but I'm a little bit closer right now. Like, I just haven't got to hunt much. With Nolan and Todd and everybody in camp trying to finish up building this lodge. Like, I think I've only buck hunted 4 times in November. And I think I'm feeling a little numb on my lips from that McWhorter. I think it literally rocked my dome. Deer's dead too.
Yeah.
Smoked him. When he went over, I think he like crashed. Well, that was a quick turn of events.
Yeah, dude.
We're not seeing a deer.
No.
And it's so quiet. You're like, I know we're going to hear it. We're going to hear deer walking. Nope. Right G4.
Yeah.
That right brow's longer. Like, looks like a freaking linebacker. Like, I'm so emotionally wrecked right now. I'm so exhausted from being here for a week. Oh, guess what? Guess what? Guess who's back? Look at this. And I'm like, I think we both looked at each other at the same time like,
Yes.
let's go, dude.
Yes.
Because that was one of the first deer in the summertime. As soon as we deployed cameras, boom, and he was on it. We were like, yes, he's going to be here all year. Like, we're going to get him in velvet. Matter of fact, that's why we moved this blind in here.
Yeah.
Because you don't really have a shot out there with a bow. And then he disappeared. Gone. I've seen so often this year, you get a picture of a deer right now,
Yeah.
you need to go to that area because he's there looking for does. And they're generally, I think, they're always there. They just don't move in daylight. But right now they're just up and walking. And that's all he was doing was cruising.
Yeah.
Hello?
You better load up the minivan and come on up.
Yeah! Did you get him?
Big buck down.
All right!
Yeah.
Porkchop?
Yep, worked out. Yeah, pork chop.
Dude, see? Put it out in the universe.
Just ate. I did.
Max went to the book fair today, and he is jazzed about it.
Oh,
His first
right.
one.
His first book fair. Oh, mommy
We're
took
real
you.
excited about your book, but we're going to bring our new book.
All right, I want to read about
We're gonna
Clifford.
show you that too.
When I was young, my daddy said, gotta keep one eye open in your bed. 'Cause there's a time
We don't need to worry about blood, baby. Big buck down. Our number 1 buck is on the ground, baby. Yes. There he is, baby. Porkchop. What a deer. Man, he stinks. All rutted up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The tree was right here. Yeah. Kind of had to sneak that one in there. Dude. Old Porkchop, our number 1 hit lister from early season. Disappeared. Showed back up today at 9:45 with a doe. It's November 15th. We believe that he was still tending that doe, hanging out in here. So we immediately got to the blind as soon as we got that information, got in, settled in about 1:30, and he shows back up at 3:15, 3:30, and just milling through, checking scrapes, making rubs, just doing what deer do in November. And we were there. Wow, what a deer.
You can outrun the devil, but you ain't gonna outrun me.
You know what I love about the story about Porkchop is he was a deer that we had. He was the number 1 buck on our hit list. Going into the season, the only buck on our hit list. Disappears. So it takes the steam right out of you, takes your confidence right out. But we continued monitoring cameras. We were persistent. We didn't give up. He showed back up. We took the information we had that day, said he's here, it's November, he's in the timber, we need to get in the timber with him. We immediately went to the stand as quick as we could get there. And again, we were prepared, we were persistent, and at the end of the day, we were able to harvest our number 1 buck, Porkchop. And as a land manager and as a property owner, it's just a great feeling.
You can outrun the devil, but you ain't gonna outrun me.